guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I used to do a lot of Netflix recommendations and YouTube recommendations, and I was like, I haven't done a Netflix recommendation in a really long time, so I compile 1 2 3 4 5 6 about 7 movies and series that I watched, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So if you like Netflix recommendations, give this video a thumbs up so it will notify me to do more. Let me know what you guys are watching on Netflix. Leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to know some of your recommendations, what you recommend. First one I'm gonna start with is the most recent one that I'm watching. To give a shout out to my friend Nicole, who hooked me up with this series, and because of Nicole, I have a serious obsession with the cast of, well, I shouldn't say the cast, with Efe and Nissan from Winter Sun, which is this series right here. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So the series itself is a Turkish series. There's one season, but wait for it. One season has 50 episodes. 50 mother effing episodes. Like, how is that even possible? And in the beginning, I wouldn't lie, at first when I was watching the first episode, I was like so confused, and I was like, is this really worth my time? But then I watched the second episode, I was like, oh, okay, all right. And then the third and the fourth, and I am currently on episode 26, and it's going so good. Like, oh my god, you guys should check it out. I wouldn't sell it out for you guys who never seen it, because it's so good. You guys should watch it. But just know the first 2 episodes is, you will be like, why am I watching this? Is this worth my time? But I'm telling you, it's so good. Alright, moving on from Winter Sun. The next series that I have for you guys is Breaking Bad. Now, Breaking Bad also did start up very slow, because Dana and I was watching it, and we was like, we stopped watching it in the first episode, and then, so I don't know how come we end up deciding to watch it back, and then we just get caught up, and that was it. Breaking Bad have 5 seasons. It have you on the edge. That's how good it is. Like, there's a lot of suspense, and I don't like suspense, but for some reason I was just like, okay, well, what happened next? I need to know. So Breaking Bad is with this high school chemist teacher. He's a chemistry teacher. He run into some financial problems. He turned to drugs to help with his financial problem. So he decided he would start up a meth lab. He didn't know before how to cook meth, but he's really good in chemistry. Heisenberg is his drug dealer name. So him and his friend went into business, and they became one of the best meth dealers, because their meth was so good. Heisenberg was like the baddest drug lord ever. He would like target the cartel and let them know they had to respect the Heisen. And guys, that one is a must watch. I mean, I'm not gonna sell it out. I don't know how to explain it without selling it out to you guys, but that is really next good. On the list is Ted Bundy, Evil and Vile. If you're into crime stories and true crime stories and forensic files and all of that, you would like Ted Bundy, Evil and Vile. There is a whole documentary on Ted Bundy on Netflix, but to break down all of that, they just like everything that Ted Bundy did, they just like put it into a movie, and Zac Efron is actually acting as Ted Bundy in Ted Bundy, Evil and Vile. And basically, Ted Bundy is a serial killer, target woman, and he like do the most brutal things to women bodies that imagine or start to imagine. And then after, when he finish his killing spree, he will go home to his wife and his daughter. I know, crazy, right? But he never harmed his wife, he never harmed his daughter. He was so in love with his wife and daughter, his stepdaughter, by the way. But it just goes to show how sick some people is, and this is a true life story. And if you watch the Bundy confession tapes, you'll understand all of that. You'll understand the movie even better. But if you haven't seen all of that, the confession tapes and whatever, the movie basically summons up everything that he did in his whole entire life. And Zac Efron did an amazing job acting as Ted Bundy. I mean, they look identical. It was crazy. I was wondering if, Zac Efron fans will be mad at him, because this is a really tough role to act, representing a serial killer, a rapist, a murderer, and all of the other titles that criminals hold. This was Ted Bundy summons up in one. But that was so good. That was a really good movie to watch. So next one on the list is Crime Scene, Cecil Hotel. Now listen, the Cecil Hotel, which is based in Los Angeles, California, downtown Skid Row. Shane Dawson did a conspiracy theory about the Cecil Hotel about 2 years ago with the girl who, actually not about 2 years, because that happened in 2013, so about back then. Shane Dawson did a whole conspiracy theory about the Cecil Hotel, because there was a mysterious murder that happened to a young tourist woman, to a young tourist girl who went to visit Los Angeles, and she was staying at the Cecil Hotel. And then the footage on the surveillance camera showed that she entered the elevator, but then she was acting all suspicious, like if somebody was following her. And then after the elevator didn't close, she stayed and she was hiding to the side of the elevator, but it didn't close for like a good 2 or 3 minutes. And then after, she ran out of the elevator, and that was it. That was the last of her. And then they found her 2 weeks after in the water tanks of the hotel itself, floating. So it was a mystery to how she died, if she was murdered. The autopsy showed that she drowned. Or it was a lot of questions. And that hotel in particular is one of the most haunted hotels in the world, and it is one of the scariest hotels in the world, meaning a lot of drug dealers stay there, prostitutes, a lot of sex trafficking goes on there, and all of that crap. So the hotel was actually closed back in 2014, I believe. So the hotel was ended up being sold, I think, back in 2015 or 2014 or something around there, or many years after. I can't really remember the year. But a lot of crime happened at that hotel. A lot of murders, a lot of suicide happened in that hotel. And the history of the Cecil Hotel is just, it will blow your mind. So if you like those kind of dark stuff like me, you should definitely check it out, the crime scene Cecil Hotel. And you can also go on YouTube and watch like all the conspiracy theories of the Cecil Hotels and people who stayed there and their experience. So it's really good. I mean, I'm into a lot of dark shit, so that's really good. The series is called Behind the Eyes, and I know a lot of you guys watch this. I didn't actually start to watch this. My mother-in-law was watching it, and she told me to check it out, and then I started to watch it. I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, okay, all right, cool scene. But then the ending, which is like the last episode, blew my mind. Like, I can't recover from that. Like, I don't understand how I missed that and when that happened. And you guys probably confused to what I'm talking about, but I don't want to sell it out. And if I tell you exactly what happened, then what's the point of watching the Behind the Eyes? But basically, it's a movie that has you thinking, because it had me thinking. I'm like, all right, cool. I thought she was in the madhouse, and then after, she's not in the madhouse, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And then in the last episode, boom, a shot call. Yeah. So Behind the Eyes, if you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. So good. The last series that I have here is called Genie and Georgia, which is my all-time favorite, and I hope they come out with season 2, because it's only one season and that one has just like 10 episodes, but it's so good. It's with this mother and her daughter. The mother had her daughter when she was just 15 years old, and fend for herself and raise her daughter and go through all these trials. The mother is one hot smoking woman. Like, the mother, she's so hot. It's like a kind of comedy teenager romance drama kind of series, but it's so good. Next movie that I have on my list here is What Happened to Monday. Now guys, this is another really great movie, and I think this is how the world is gonna be in maybe like next 50-60 years. But What Happened to Monday is basically this couple end up having 6 girls, right? They live in this country where they are only allowed to have 1 child, and if they have more than 1 child, because the government is trying to control the human population, if you have more than 1 child, it's kind of similar to the situation like in China where you are only allowed to have 1 child. I don't know if that law has changed, but yeah, it's basically similar to that. So you're only allowed to have 1 child, and if you have more than 1 child and the government find out, they basically take away your child and kill the child, right? So, and they also put like tracking device into your hands, so anytime you go out they have to scan you, when you come back in they have to scan you, all of that. So this couple, the mother died giving birth to his 6 daughters, who basically is identical, like they all look identical. And now the father have to like build this in his apartment, build like a secret room to hide his daughters. So he basically named each of his daughter. One is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Oh, it's seven children, 7 daughters he has. So the days of the week, the 7 days of the week, that's what he named his daughters: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And on Monday, whoever name is Monday, that's the day they get to go out. And when they go out, they basically have to record everything of the day and what they did, to come back home to learn about that and remember it. So the next sister who goes out on Wednesday, she will have, she will remember everything that goes on if somebody asks her. And they also have to dress identical. Even though they look identical, they have to do their makeup the same way and do their hair, all of that. So one of the sister, which is Monday, she went missing because the government found out and all of that, and they was on a hunt to look for her and blah 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 blah. I went, and I wouldn't say again what happened. What happened to Monday was so epic. So you guys should definitely check it out. My friends, that is all that I have for you today. That's all. Yeah, so if you have any Netflix recommendations, leave them down in the comments down below. I love to check them out. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.